Alrighty, guys, we're back. We're almost into the game. I might as well make this live. Alright. Coming up, July new hires versus Yolo. It's gonna be a good game. This is the semi-final match. These guys are ridiculously rated. Like, I'm intimidated by the people in this lobby.
I think this will be the closest game we've seen so far, just based on individual ratings alone. With the exception of one player, everybody is diamond or high. Excuse me, two players, everyone is diamond or higher. So it really should be something really fun. Unlike the couple stomps that we've seen, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that we've seen stomps, but that's what happens when you have like a tournament that isn't limited to certain elos. You know, you can possibly get golds, you can get silvers, you can get diamonds, you can get masters, that sort of stuff. So it was unfortunate we saw two kind of rollover games, but they were entertaining in their own right. The early games were relatively close, I felt like.
Yeah, and then there were some like individual outplays in each of those games that were honestly completely unexpected. Cash Minion's mid laner nearly took out a master tier. He was silver 5 and nearly 1v1'd a master tier.
No, he did 1v1. He won that trade, I think. He just
with
kind
the
of
exception of a little bit of hesitation when
he cut the animation a little too short. It sucks. Oh well. All right, so we're about to there we go. We are going to get into champion select. But up. Oh, I'm on the wrong overlay. My bad, guys. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I apologize. There we go. We're in. Great. Yay. Okay. Nope.
Bans happening fast and furious. Malzahar, Maokai, and Morgana, all of which are pretty good bans. Malzahar must be a targeted ban.
What is
Otherwise,
happening?
You wouldn't normally see that ban. But the Maokai and Morgana bans are... They're safe target or safe blanket bans, so to speak.
I apologize, guys. Something's going on with my stream. I can't seem to get the lead client to pop up for me. I'll be right back. Skip, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, dude.
Caitlyn banned by excuse me. That is July by Yolo, and that is a target ban. Abigail, the AD carry for July new hires, plays almost exclusively Caitlyn. He has over 300 games as Caitlyn in solo queue. And then Tristana and Lucian bans as well. So Tristana, obviously just another kind of general ban, but Lucian, they're really trying to ban out Abigail in this. Those are his three top play champions, is Caitlyn, Lucian, and Tristana. Rise first pick, pretty it's a champion that Phantoms has played quite a bit of in solo queue. It's his top played champion, so it's definitely something he's comfortable on, and it's very powerful in this current meta if he can get, once he gets his tier stacked. Excuse me, not his tier, his Roa stacked. On the other side, we're seeing Corki and Blitzcrank coming out for Yolo. They're hovering right now, not locked. The Corki is locked, and so is a Blitz now. And the Blitz is kind of a hit or miss pick. It doesn't always work out, to say the least. But the Corki is a very powerful pick. We've seen a lot of it in Worlds so far, and I've seen some really dominating performances on it. So it's definitely a solid pick.
Yeah, sorry guys, I don't know what happened, but I seem to have lost the lead client. We're having some technical difficulties on the streamer side of it. Wow, this is extremely frustrating. I don't like this. I don't like this happening. I don't want it to happen anymore. Make it stop. Yeah, I can't seem to get this to... Damn. Okay, one sec. You can... Sorry, do continue with the commentary. I'm just
Yeah, the technology can be a little bit finicky sometimes and randomly not work.
Blowing my mind, man.
So a Thresh and a Lee Sin picked up, and again, these are just two kind of like meta picks that are picks that if you're a good jungle, you know how to play Lee Sin. If you're a good support, you know how to play Thresh. If you're a good top, you know how to play Ryze. And each of these guys have played quite a bit of these in solo queue.
All right, I apologize, guys. We're just gonna have to go on blind champion select right now. I apologize. I can't give you the actual images, but we'll try to keep you updated. And as soon as we get into the champion loading screen, you'll be able to see everything that's happened. But something's gone wrong with my game capture. It won't seem to pull the client.
And just to update anyone who is watching and can't see, obviously. So far, July New Hires has picked Ryze, Thresh, and Lee Sin. And on the other side, Yolo actually just locked in their third and fourth champion. So it's Corki, Blitzcrank, a Hecarim actually, and a Irelia pick. So some pretty interesting pickups, especially out of Yolo here. There's a lot of just very interesting picks. The Blitzcrank is really hit or miss. The Hecarim, you don't see much Hecarim in the current meta.
That's true. Hecarim has kind of fallen out just because he doesn't have the sort of burst damage that Kha'Zix has. He doesn't have the utility that Lee Sin does. Even the burst damage, Lee Sin can do quite a lot.
Yeah, Lee Sin is really powerful early, and I'm not entirely sure Hecarim will be able to deal with him until at least later in the game. We're actually seeing Ziggs and Severe locked in. Ziggs is a really good pick. Severe surprises me, but they've banned so many AD carries in this game that people are kind of being relegated to... someone was going to have to pick something a little bit strange.
Yeah, I mean, Caitlyn, Lucy, and Tristana is sort of... That's kind of the meta right now, isn't it? Like, I mean, how many other AD carries? Oh, I suppose Corki, yes. So there's your four. There's your four.
Entirely meta, but she's a strong pick all the same. She's a lane bully.
Yeah.
But Lucian and Tristana are very much so.
I feel meta. Corki's there. Corki's definitely there because we're seeing him a lot.
And once you've picked out Tristana, Lucian, Corki, and Caitlyn's also gone, especially for Abigail's champion pool, there's not much left. His top three played champions, like I said, are Caitlyn, Lucian, and Tristana. So you would imagine Corki wouldn't be too far behind that. When you get beyond that, it's going to be weird fringe picks, like maybe a Graves or the Severe that we saw, or maybe a Jinx. So we were going to see something a little bit janky. Orianna is an interesting pickup for that team. I'm not entirely sure how well she'll be able to synergize with the Hecarim. If they do it right, Hecarim can actually ult in and she can ult, so instead of knocking away, it'll instantly pull back into him and do a lot of damage in the process. But
right.
It's hard to pull off. These are really good players though, so if anyone could pull it off, I'm sure it's these guys.
Yeah, so we finally have our full champion loadouts. Let's just go over them. On the one side, July New Hires have Ryze, Sivir, Lee Sin, Ziggs, and Thresh. Yolo on the other side have Corki, Blitzcrank, Orianna, Hecarim, and Irelia.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to type those out in chat for anyone that wants to see.
Yeah, do so. That'd be great. I was thinking about putting champion text into the into the actual stream overlay, but that's a lot of typing and a lot of mess. I'll have to clean that up. But I am sorry again for the tech problems. 2.5 minutes and we'll get back on track, no problem. Overall, who do you think has the better team comp here?
It's really hard to say, because there's so many fringe meta picks and then just completely off meta picks, like the Severe, the Blitzcrank, the Hecarim, right? Yeah. It makes it really tough to say. What I would probably, I want to give an edge to July New Hires. I feel like they can get more done with their composition throughout all points in the game. Like Severe has the capability of doing really well in lane versus the Blitzcrank. She can, and the Corki too. The Spell Shield can block either a lot of poke or the pulls. That being said, if she Spell Shields at the wrong time, she could
She
screw
can
herself
straight
in
out
lane.
die, just dead.
Yeah, she doesn't have the mobility to be able to handle stuff, and that might be a factor late game because there's a lot of stuff that can end up coming her way. Like I said, there's the Corki poke, there's the Blitzcrank, there's also Orianna ultimate,
Hecarim ultimate.
Hecarim, and Irelia, and she does not actually have enough to get away from that in late game, so that's going to be a lot on her team to be able to peel for her.
Thresh, Lee Sin, and Ryze do pretty good with that, though.
Yeah, they and also July new hires can kind of just run away from fights that they don't want. If things are looking bad enough, Severe can pop ult, Ryze can pop ult, and they can just run.
Or they have really good chase here potential. Like if they get a decent team fight and people are trying to get out, you still have that Lee Sin to catch people, the Ryze, the Sivir, that sort of thing. If they haven't popped it in a team fight, you know.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of I think there's gonna be a lot of pressure on Blitzcrank to make plays early and mid, and if it gets late, it'll be interesting to see this matchup between a late game Ryze and a late game Irelia, because I'm really not entirely sure who wins. We have seen a little bit of Irelia, and Ryze in the World Championship, but Irelia is just now coming back into the meta, so we don't know a lot of her interactions in the current meta yet. At least, we know some, right?
I think Irelia always sits just below the surface in top lane. Whenever the meta shifts, whenever it moves away from whatever it was doing before, Irelia comes back into power because she is just so strong at beating most champions, and her endgame is so ridiculous. And then the meta, it comes back to where it was, and people get their comfort picks realigned, and then Irelia falls back out.
Yeah, and Black Mamba, he doesn't actually play that much Irelia. His top 3 played champions in solo queue are Ryze, Karthus, and Vel'Koz. So it's not necessarily... he might have a lot of experience on it. He might have played it a lot in Season 3 or even Season 2 for that matter, but it's not something he's played a lot or a ton of recently. And I think a big thing with Irelias is the best Irelias that you see have played hundreds of games on her. Everyone likes to talk about Wicked on Irelia. Well, why is Wicked so good on Irelia?
Because he's played her for so long. Yeah, he's played forever. He's played Irelia in every meta you can conceive of, even the ones that haven't happened yet.
It'll also be interesting to see what she levels first. We've seen a lot of them in the World Championship, maxing E for the
longer stun. Yeah, the longer duration.
Yeah, and just it surprises people how long they're stunned and how much burst comes out of that, because it actually does a really good amount of damage, just base damage. That being said, in previous metas, the true damage, has been the thing that you level on Irelia. So
generally, yes.
It'll be interesting to see what he goes with, and I'm not entirely sure what the correct choice against her Ryze is. I would actually think the E would be better, because I feel like the Ryze is going to be poking you out in lane, and then you could full engage.
Yeah, you need to be able to burst him as hard as you can, force him to think twice about coming near you again.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I feel like if Yolo is going to win this game, it's probably going to come out of a synergy between Hecarim and the Irelia up top. I feel like they could really exploit this Ryze. Ryze has a lot of trouble actually escaping ganks. Irelia, on the other hand, is really good at escaping ganks. So I think Imsakid should give a lot of pressure for Black Mamba up top and see if they can maybe get a kill or put Ryze behind, because Irelia can essentially solo carry a game.
All right, we are finally into the game, and I'm excited to see how this turns out. This is probably going to be our closest match yet. Knock on wood. Really hoping we get to see 40-minute game, back and forth, very close stuff. It'd be great.
Yeah, it's really what we've. As a caster, it's always fun to to cast those games. Stomps
I
are
want
not quite as
a real 5-on-5 team fight that just goes nuts. I'm excited and I want it.
Yeah, where it can go either way, and you get the real outplays going on in a fight rather than one team that's just 10k ahead. So they
Oh, have they seen them? Did they see them? Did that ward see them?
I think that
I
ward
think
saw
it
them all.
did. I feel like it had to.
Yeah, definitely saw him right there on that, on going out.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
That ward doing a lot of work for July new hires. That was top quality.
I just got a question. How are there ties in that tournament? I didn't think there was. I didn't think you could tie in this tournament.
I do not know how you would tie.
Oh, Blitz. That's 2 pulls, 2 misses. 0 for 2. Let's keep track all games. 0 for 2 on pulls.
I'll write it down. I'll write it down. How about that?
That'll work. Little ticks. We'll have like a little column for him at the end. You missed 13 out of 22 pulls. That's almost a 50%. You need to work on your pulls. Just like have like little stats for them at the end of the game.
I don't know. If I saw my stats on Blitzcrank, I'd be pretty depressed. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about my Blitzcrank pulls. They are not so good.
You just gotta tell people when you're missing them early game that you're warming up for late game.
Yeah, that's what it is. So Lee Sin and Hecarim both starting on the lower side of their jungles respectively. Hecarim going to start with that blue. Lee Sin going to start with the red. Pretty typical. Both probably going to end up in that top lane clashing at around just under 3 minutes.
A really interesting.
Ooh, a lot of damage from this Thresh. Oh, 0 for 3. Blitz, it's not a criticism. It's just something to keep me busy. A lot of damage on this Thresh, though, and he's just being really, really aggressive, getting right up in the face of both Blitzcrank and Corki.
They win the trades initially, but then they take so much minion damage and just like passive damage overall on the end of these engages, these mini scraps, so to speak, that they're actually down in health right now. They keep losing a lot of damage or health in each of these trades.
That's impressive to me. I just watched Hecarim. He has got a much slower clear than Lee. I feel like that's kind of a shame because Lee has such good utility. I feel like his clear should be slower than Hecarim's. Not screaming nerf Lee here. I'm just saying that like I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, the pull!
Good spell shield.
Good spell shield. Very good spell shield. And
Does
there
that
you
count
go.
as a hit or does that count as a miss?
That counts as a hit. He hit it. Just good reaction
right.
from Sivir. But I like you said, Irelia is kind of getting bullied by Ryze here, and I think it'll be quite some time before she really gets anywhere in this lane. Lee is at top lane. She needs to be gone. She needs to be gone. Good flash to get rid of the Q. I was going to say, she needed to be gone 10 minutes ago.
Back there soon. With that flash gone, Irelia doesn't have much to escape.
Oh, hello, Hecarim. Oh, good push off of the explosive, the satchel charge. A lot of damage done to Ziggs. He's forced to burn flash. Irelia is very low. She's going to have to back. She'll probably burn teleport to get back to lane, to be honest.
Yeah, the lane is going exactly how they want it to go, how July New Hires wants it to go up top. They need that Ryze to be ahead of that Irelia early, because when Irelia gets 6, she's probably stronger than the Ryze.
I think that the regen from her R and the extra damage it gives her from her Transcendent Blades, I think that is too much of a boost for Ryze to really handle. Here comes the Hecarim from the backside. He's got the push. He goes onto the Thresh instead because Sivir has the spell shield. There's the pull onto Sivir again. They still have damage. Not quite. Did they burn any spells at all? Wow. What great composure from the bot lane. They just no. They're not going to do anything.
It was really good for them to keep their heads about them in that, and it's really hard to do. Every instinct in your body says flash, use everything I can to get out when you see something like that. And it was even really well played by the Blitzcrank, who saved his pull until the spell shield was gone.
Right.
But just in a way, a better job by Abigail and Rabbit Cat.
Oh, and Rise is gonna. Aurelia's gonna go hard onto Rise here. I don't think she can win this trade. Oh, Rise is gonna flash forward. He does get the first blood with the auto attack and Q. And on the bot lane, Lee Sin is down. He does land the Q onto Corgi. He flashes too early. He gets taken down by the final kick. That is 2 kills going on the way to July new hires. That's gonna be great for their early game.
And that flash really just it came back to bite Black Mamba in the butt. He had to flash from the gank earlier, and you had to know that that was probably going to be exploited in some way. I didn't expect it to be exploited in a 1v1, but that's the power of losing flash. People often think that a gank is a failed gank if you don't get a kill or force someone to back, but a flash is a successful gank. Forcing a flash is a successful gank for that reason by itself.
Especially if you can just turn around and come back a different angle.
Yeah, exactly. And on this bottom lane, that was really big for Abigail and Rabbit Cat. They really, really needed that.
Especially because Sivir and Thresh, it's not that they're a bad lane, they're just not a dominant lane. And Corki hits 6, he gets scary against Sivir because he gains an all-new ability to put damage onto her. He can spam them at her so that her spell shield isn't necessarily the most effective spell she has. And
I mean, simply put, Corki has 3, if you want to count Valkyrie 4, but I'm not going to count that,
no.
3 damaging abilities, and Severe has
2?
Well, essentially just
2.
1. You could count the Bouncing Blade, but it really doesn't...
Oh, good distortion. They're going to get hard onto Ziggs. He does use his satchel charge to get away. I feel like they could have waited a little bit. They could have gotten a little bit more damage on there before they used the distortion. Oh, and Aurelia is going hard onto Rise. She is 6 now. She does not really have the damage to deal with him, though. Does pop his ultimate.
He's got that Catalyst now. He has a lot of sustain.
And there's that Corki damage. He's almost level 6. Oh, Corki, you're alone, buddy. He does get away from the Thresh and our Sivir.
And, back to the mid-focus that Hecarim's been... Ooh. Engages all across the map.
The spell shield from Sivir is going to come out. Blitzcrank does not land the hook. Exhaust onto Corki. They might be able to bring down the Sivir. No! Thresh does manage to get the last hit. He'll take the kill. Lee Sin's coming in with Thresh. I don't think they're going to be able to pick up this Blitzcrank.
That fight was the AD carries misplaying a bit, and the supports just being incredible. Blitzcrank had an amazing fist. Oop.
Oh, hard on top. Hard on top. Aurelia, I don't think you can win this fight. Run, Aurelia. He doesn't have flash this time, so she might be able to get out. Rise does not want to enter in on that bush.
But yeah, the bottom fight, Blitzcrank had an amazing knockup to actually give his Corki a chance, and then it was even better exhaust from Thresh. He actually held it the entire fight until then.
Well, the perfect time to do it was when he dropped it during Corki's Gatling gun and lowered that damage quite a lot.
Yeah, and waited until Corki fully committed, because Corki was deciding whether or not to run away, and when the Blitzcrank got the amazing knockup, is when he decided to go back in, because he thought he could win, and I think he was going to win without the exhaust. And it's just really, really well timed.
Yeah, it's a shame Blitzcrank either didn't have it up or didn't use it at the time. Oh, the hook onto Blitz, this is bad. Oh, the flash is too early. He's going to go down, that's for sure. Corki does Valkyrie out of there, he's going to get out. That's three kills on the bot lane. It looks like it might start to snowball really badly for, really well for July new hires, really badly for El Yolo.
Yeah, and El Yolo is actually, they played in the first annual tournament, and actually under the same name, and they're the reigning champions. July new hires, they're new. This is, they've never done this tournament before.
Clearly they prepared.
To Epic, as their name kind of says, right? But this would be big to take out the reigning champions.
I think so. I think it'd be pretty solid bragging rights in the office.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Corki. At least, this is sort of a big deal that we haven't seen in the last couple games. Every lane is keeping up, except for top lane, where Irelia is kind of getting bullied by Rise. But we expected that, especially after that first push and gank.
And now that Hecarim's 6, he might be able to do something for top lane. He really needed to get the 6 to be able to have a chance. So we'll see if maybe he gives a bunch of focus here. It might be too
Oh, he's
late,
chasing in on the Ziggs. The satchel charge is burned. He still has the flash. There's the distortion. They might be able to burn the ignite here. There's the teleport into bot lane. They're now pincered in. This is really bad. Orianna is going to go down. The teleport from Irelia might be too late. The Hecarim does pick him up. She goes hard onto Lee Sin. He's so low. Irelia does pick him up. She could go hard onto Sivir here. Down goes Sivir. What a fight. Ryze is going to force to get out. He's going to have to run after picking down Hecarim. They might be able to pick him up. They're waiting on the Blitzcrank pull. Maybe he's going to chase hard onto Sivir. Corki's trying to bring down this Ryze. This is so crazy. The supports are the only ones with health. And everybody's out of mana.
So fast in that. There was instant collapses from all across the map for both teams. And we actually had the pleasure of seeing an 11-minute 5-on-5 team fight, and it ended up going 2 for 3, actually in the favor of El Yolo.
Oh man,
they really needed.
They needed that so badly, and I was so worried when I saw Orianna and Hecarim chasing that deep, and all of a sudden there's the Lee Sin and the Ryze teleports in. I'm like, oh no, they're stuck. They can't go anywhere. They're in enemy lines, and then Irelia comes in, starts doing work. Corki and Blitzcrank are there, and they're just there for the support. Beautiful plays from both teams.
It was really, really looking bad for El Yolo. You're not lying when you say that. I honest to God thought they were gonna get.
I thought they were done for.
Have 2 people dead. And
on the bot lane, Ziggs and Lee.
Kills.
Ziggs and Lee do the invade. Orianna just takes the safe path, runs up north. And Sivir. Sivir doing a lot of damage to that bot lane turret. Pink ward in the jungle, or in the river. That's perfect. They might be able to take this bot lane turret. Irelia getting bullied by that Ryze. Well, I mean, you would expect that, right? Seeing as what time it is, about right for when the dragons.
It's complete ward dominance.
Oh, Irelia. Oh, you're so low.
Or El Yolo. And I'm wondering if Irelia... Oh, she won't actually end up doing the back. But I'm wondering if she'll back soon and maybe head to Dragon.
She should.
Neither of the top laners has teleport.
Yeah, the smart move here would be Irelia. Give up on that. Give up on the top lane, Irelia. Leave. Ryze wants to kill you. Leave. You're wasting time just hanging.
And the Ryze doesn't want to fight before his row is completed. If you force him into fights, it's a good thing. And if he just stays up top and pushes, he's one of the slowest tower damagers in the game. Because
he doesn't really build AP, and he doesn't really build any AD, so he's just because he builds mana and tank, so he doesn't take down turrets very quickly.
So I would really like to see the Irelia join the team and kind of force a team objective like the Dragon, because I'm pretty sure they could take it. And actually, it looks like Ryze is going to head to the Dragon instead of Irelia.
Well, Irelia desperately needs to catch up here. I can see why they maybe would let the Dragon just go, give up a little bit of that early pressure, early advantage to get Irelia some farm.
The big thing in this is that a lot of people, when they're watching these, they don't remember that they can't see the wards, they can't see the gold. They just have to take guesses on a lot of this.
Oh, Blitz. Blitz is low. There's the exhaust into Corki. The hook onto... This is not very good communication. They hooked Blitzcrank instead of going for Corki. Hecarim's going to pick up... No, double kill goes to... Oh no, Blitz got the first kill.
Lee and Ryze coming in now.
Oh no. Oh, the Lee Q is not... Oh, he's just off. That's a shame. They probably could have followed that up if Lee had landed the Q just with an insect ward hop.
Irelia might be able to get top tower off this.
I feel like she can. I feel like she should.
There's no one that can stop her. Ryze will not be able to get up there in time. His teleport's still down.
It is going down very quickly.
Worked out really well for El Yolo, and they didn't even lose dragon pressure on it because of the kills.
Yeah, how do you take dragon when both of your bot lane are down? And Corki wasn't even that low. Corki could just sit in lane and just farm away.
Yeah, it was... the gold lead is completely nullified. It is 100% even now.
Even. That is impressive. I'm loving it so far. I'm loving it.
And this next fight will probably happen over Dragon, and top laners almost have their TPs up, so we might be able to see another 5 versus 5 engage and really see who's stronger at this point.
Oh, Orianna. Run, Orianna. She does manage to get out. That dissonance is just so useful for getting out of fights, and the satchel charge actually helped her get away.
Yeah, he didn't quite place it correctly. I mean, he kind of placed it at max range anyways.
He couldn't really get any closer, no. They do take their second turret on the bot lane, so that does give them a little bit more of a lead, a little bit more pressure on the bot lane. They do have... Look at the warding. This is beautiful. 1, 2, 3 wards just around the dragon. Nothing actually like at dragon, but they have one in the dragon pit. So this area is completely covered.
And they have all the entrances besides coming from mid lane covered for that dragon area.
Mm-hmm. This is good play by July New Hires. They're doing a really good job. They do get the hook onto Orianna, and not a lot they can do with it. Oh, the hook! If that had landed, I expect we would have seen a dead Ziggs. Well, no, he had flash and a thresh with the lantern. He might have gotten out, but it would have been a lot of damage.
Yeah, that was it was really close. Enforcing even just the flash would have been big in the upcoming fight. That's probably going to happen soon.
Oh, the hook onto Blitzcrank. They do get the kick over the wall. He's going to run, the right way. Good play. He's going to get queued onto. Ziggs ultimate does pick him up. That's the 7th kill and the first one for Ziggs this game. That might be enough pressure for them to take dragon. I mean, without Blitzcrank, how do you invade on them? Yeah, that's true.
The Orianna ult is still up. The Corki missiles are still there. The Hecarim ult is still up. It would be really dangerous to go for this. They could just get too damaged.
Well, they're doing it. They're taking it down pretty quickly. Here's the teleport from Irelia. Rise hasn't come in yet. Now he's coming in. It's a little late. Ziggs is in the back. Thresh might on a great oh my gosh, that ball distortion is so good. They do bring down the Rise. Orianna's still alive. Irelia is bringing down that Sivir. Oh my gosh, I just lost it there on that fight. That was beautifully done. That was
absolutely incredible.
That shockwave.
The only thing that they didn't do correctly in that fight was Imsa Kid smited a little bit early, giving Lee Sin the dragon, but it was 3 kills, right, for dragon, so
it pretty much evens out the gold. I mean, 3 to dragon global is pretty much even, if I remember correctly, if I'm doing my math right.
It's a slight advantage to the team that gets the 3 kills, and actually that's what we see is they caught up a little bit, especially after they get this tower. They're
fine. Yeah, they're going to get a lead. And Irelia has started to, with that 2-1-3, Irelia has really managed to make her presence known. I was really worried about that top lane with Rise being so dominant in that early game. I thought that with the bully on Irelia, he just could have gone full ham and not cared. But
and he's still ahead. He still has a 1k overall lead on her. But she's got caught up so very much in the last 5 or 6 minutes that, I mean, she should not be a factor in this game, and she is.
Question. Why does Rise have a Negatron cloak? That's kind of confusing to me. Would you not want to rush to that Frozen Heart to deal with the Irelia, the Hecarim, the Corki?
A lot of people like to, I mean, so you have a choice as Rise. You either go for the...
He also has Merc Treads. He's got a ton of magic resistance.
Yeah, I think he wants to team fight, and he wants to nullify the Orianna.
They're coming in hard. Irelia is flanking from the side. The shockwave misses entirely. Hecarim, they do manage to lock down Ziggs. And I don't think they're going to get any more. The good blitz hook, though, almost hits him. Good jump from Lee to get away from that. And Rise was just a little slow coming down. Irelia able to make the difference in that fight.
Yeah, I think the Rise picked that up because he wants to be able to nullify the Orianna and damage and the Corki poke. But
that's true.
Really
Corki missiles are magic.
It would have been better to pick up the Glacial Shroud because it increases your damage, it gives you cooldown reduction, and it gives you a little bit of tankiness. I really think that would have been the correct choice. I can understand why he did.
Yeah, you can get the reasoning. I just think that it might have been a mistake. However,
yeah, I definitely agree.
However, the gold has started to slide a little bit in El Yolo's favor. They're up 1,000. Not a lot, really. They're even in turrets. And now it's the siege. Now it's deciding who can sit here on this base a little bit. Ziggs has incredible wave clear here. Orianna has pretty solid wave clear, and you have Corki as well with his missiles. But I mean, you've got 2 of the best wave clear champs in the game in Sivir and Ziggs.
and really good warding from July new hires prevents the Hecarim flank that he keeps trying to do. As you
Here he
see, he's on
comes. He's on the
trying
side.
to do it again.
And Blitz is off on that side. He also wants to get hooks, but they can see him too. Oh,
Yeah,
he's running forward.
Everything.
He's running forward. Good shockwave. Does bring down the Lee Sin. The ultimate from Ziggs hits everybody. Blitzcrank is so low. Rise does get the hook onto... Great. The great rune prison onto Corki.
So much AoE damage in that.
That Ziggs ultimate hit so hard.
Yeah, Ziggs
Wow.
plus that Rise ult.
Oh, and here comes the Hecarim. He's going in hard anyways. Sivir does manage to stay alive. Irelia is kind of low. Oriana's low. Everybody's low. Blitzcrank does not manage to land the hook. Thresh gets it. Thresh goes down 1 for 1 on that last little bit. But this looks like it'll be the turret. Irelia and Blitzcrank are not able to defend this anymore.
And we just keep seeing hold swing back and forth in favor of these two teams. I think the largest gold lead we've seen was about 1.6k.
Yeah, about
and
that, when
most
they picked up their
games
second
was
turret.
about 500.
Yeah, I think the biggest lead was, you're right, when they had those two turrets, the one from top and the one from bottom, it gave them just a little bit, well, it gave them more of a lead than we've seen at any point. This is incredibly close. I'm very happy about this game so far.
Yeah, and it's looked each time that the gold is swung, the team that was ahead looked like they were poised to just run away with the game entirely. We saw July new hires earlier. They looked like they were snowballing out of control, and somehow El Yolo had some amazing plays that brought them back into it. And then El Yolo was looking like they were maybe becoming a little bit unstoppable. And again, July new hire says, nope, we're in this game too, and takes a lead. So this is by far the closest game we've seen yet today.
They're playing with my emotions, man. I can't handle it. It's amazing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy after the first two games we casted that we're going to see something that is just back and forth. And 22 minutes in the game, we're already going past where we were last time around. Oh, Lee gets the Q. Does manage to pick up the pink ward. This is a good play. The warding has been pretty darn good from both teams. Pink wards and green wards going down everywhere.
And look at the inventories. There's 2 pink wards and a green ward in the inventory of El Yolo, and those are on the mid and jungle. Those aren't on support. And
yeah.
On the other side, we actually saw a pink ward and a couple green wards coming out.
Really, look at this. They just don't stop clearing it. Oh, they get the pull onto Ziggs, but Blitz is all alone. And Thresh gets the counter hook. They might be able to chase down all the ultimate. The shockwave doesn't hit a lot. Hecarim looks like he's going to go down. There's the Ziggs ultimate. They do bring down the Lee Sin finally. Irelia's in here deep. Rise gets pulled out. He's not exactly the one you want. Corki's doing a lot of damage, but I don't know if he has Valkyrie. He does. He does manage to get out. Oh, the big missile.
They can't do dragon.
Oh, they shut down the Sivir. Wow. Beautiful play by the Oriana over the wall.
2 for 3 overall.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not 3 for 3, but yeah, neither team has the health to do this. Ziggs and Oriana can both poke around the outside, Corki as well, and you don't want to risk that.
And that's what I like to call a case of Blitzcrank syndrome, where
I gotta get the pull. Go.
You see the pull and you make the pull whether it's a good idea or not, right?
It's like Lee too. I landed the Q. Yeah. I have to go.
That is actually why I do not play Lee Sin. I will go on every single Q I hit.
I have button spam problems. I just hit it. Just go. All right, so Hecarim and Oriana and Blitz and Irelia and Corki, the whole team, they're here for this dragon. And it looks like Lee Sin and Thresh are off on the side. Yeah, they definitely are going to take this. Lee might go for the steal here. Oh! Lee, you can't get out. They're on the lantern. They do manage to bring him down.
That was really ill-advised by him. He didn't hit the dragon with it, and I really think when he saw that he hadn't hit dragon, he should have just not. Yeah. I think that he thought that just being in the pit means he probably could have landed the smite and then grabbed the Thresh lantern to get out. And if you didn't, I don't know if you saw it, but Rise did try to teleport in behind over here on this ward, but he did not manage to, well, I mean, he canceled it seeing Lee Sin go down. Yeah, they didn't have backup needed for him to do that, so it was a smart cancel. But the Lee should have known that Blitzcrank just has too much lockdown, especially with Irelia there as well, for him to be able to get out. He might have gotten the steal. There was a chance that he got the steal. I would say he had maybe a 25% chance of getting the steal. So I can understand why you'd want to, but you're not going to get out.
No. And I think Oriana used her shockwave as well.
She did.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, he did burn a fair bit on their side, but yeah, she gets it back. Like, what is the cooldown? 60
ridiculous
seconds?
Cooldown. I think
it's 68.
Like that when you have blue.
68
blue
seconds
that,
with that blue buff and Athene's.
Yeah.
Well, teams just trying to... They're being a little bit more passive after what we saw in the last couple minutes.
400 gold difference. Absolutely insane how close it is.
Yeah, this is nuts. I love it. Irelia still farming, still behind that rise. He is really stretching that lead. 65 minions over Irelia. And Corki is falling behind Sivir.
When we look at gold across the map, who are the leads on? It's... The Rise is ahead by almost over 2k. Yep. But then there's a...
Oh, they get the Rise pull! That's beautiful, but they just don't have the Irelia or the Corki to output the damage. Blitzcrank is low. The Ziggs ultimate just whiffs entirely. But Hecarim goes down and Blitzcrank goes down. That was not the best pull. I don't think they believed the whole team was there. Oh no, and Irelia!
And that might be Baron. There's a lot of poke on Corki and Oriana, but Oriana doesn't have her ultimate anymore. I'm not sure how much they can do, and they don't have vision.
If Corki is smart about this, he can get a ton of damage onto this team. Oh, look at the... Oh, wow, so much damage onto Ziggs. He's so low. Thresh is going to be low.
They'll have to leave.
Are the two of them going to fight this? Oh, they pick up the Sivir too! Oh, this is ballsy. This is ballsy. Run! Corki, no! Okay, so Lee Sin goes down, Corki goes down. Good trade. Yeah, she realizes she's probably standing on one. She's getting back up.
If you include the fight that happened beforehand, that ended up being a 3-for-4. That really wasn't that bad for El Yolo in the end.
Yeah, well, they've fallen down a fair bit on the CS lead just because, like, Sivir and Rise are just getting so far ahead of their counterparts.
Yeah, and that might be a really big factor in a game that's so close.
However, I feel like Sivir is more item dependent in the mid game than Corki is, just because once he gets that Trinity Force and BF Sword item, he really does he does so much damage with the missiles, right?
I'm kind of surprised. He actually decided to go for Infinity Edge second. Usually you see like a Bloodthirster or Last Whisper second out of Corki's, but the Infinity Edge means that he's going to be doing a lot more damage than you would normally see out of a Corki at this point in the game.
And the lack of Last Whisper isn't really going to hurt him that much because really you only have the Warden's Mail on the one side. That's it. That's the only armor on the other team.
Rise is just now building towards his I don't know why I can't remember the name of it, but
I'll give you a hint. Starts with an F.
Frozen Heart. Thank you.
There it is.
But he's just now starting on his Frozen Heart, so Corki can absolutely shred through. His poke won't do quite as much, but he still has auto attacks, and I mean, even then he has spell penetration for his poke, so he's doing a lot of damage. There's not many people that can stand his poke.
Right. How do you feel about this Hecarim's build? I just looked at it. He went for Elder Lizard Trinity.
I do not agree with that build.
I don't agree either. I feel like Randwids would be the better choice here. Mind you, they have a lot of magic damage.
I think it'd be a tank, so that Oriana, Irelia, and Corki could get their damage down. I mean, like, Irelia will be fairly tanky, but when we get to the end of this game, right? And she'll kind of go in the back, and her big thing is that she'll do sustained damage in the end of the game, decent sustained damage. But they need someone to tank for them right now in the mid game before things get too out of hand.
Yeah, because it's not like Hecarim is sort of one of those champs that can survive a team fight and continue to put out damage with Trinity Force. He kind of just all-ins.
Yeah, his kit is, I go and I probably die pretty fast, but hopefully we win it before I really die.
What do you think Hecarim's next item should be? Should he go for a Sunfire Cape? Do you think he needs to go Magic Resistance against this team?
I think he should get a Banshee's Veil, personally. And it's risky versus the...
Irelia's pushing top. And they're gonna. This rotation has been great. July Newhire is doing a great rotation to pick up this turret. And they're getting there just in time to cut off that Oriana. She has to take the long way around. Irelia is only now Oh, the pull onto Sivir! Good flash to get away from it. Blitzcrank might go down just to the damage. Zig's ultimate goes down. Good shockwave from Orianna. Hecarim is going to have to get out. The teleport is going to be... Aurelia, why are you going in now?
She didn't cancel it.
Why wouldn't you cancel that? She's forced to burn the flash. Wow, 2 for nothing. All the ultimates are pretty much down. Ryze is pretty... he's caught the Ori. Not enough to bring her down. Sivir goes very low.
I feel like Hecarim should not have ulted in there, and
No.
Aurelia should not have teleported.
Nope.
They could have still held that tower. They had all of their wave clear in place. Losing Blitzcrank, yeah, it sucks, and you lose some power, but you didn't lose any wave clear. And unless they were going to straight dive you on a tower, there was no way they were taking that tower. You could have gotten an inhibitor tower, maybe even an inhibitor with an Aurelia split push.
At the very least, they would have forced the entire team to back off, because if Ryze is going to leave and go bottom, then Irelia is free to go and teleport to her team to make an engagement.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They would have been forced
Ryze
away.
backs or teleports, you just Irelia teleport into one of the wards, like that ward on blue behind them and flank.
Right. I just could have been done a little bit better. Hey, Glitter. Doing a shout out to stream viewers. I gotta do
Glitter
it.
Unicorns. That's a heck of a name, buddy.
It's a fantastic name. I'm hoping she'll stick around and get to see the next game we're going to cast. We will be doing at least one more. I'm thinking we'll probably get at least one more, probably 2, maybe 3 even. This is a big tournament, guys. We're doing a lot of games today.
This gold lead's starting to become a little bit unmanageable.
3K is not huge though at the 32-minute mark. I feel
at
like
that point, if they lose another objective or fight without
Yes,
getting
yeah.
something in return, it could really turn ugly really fast.
you know what the
They
biggest
really-
problem is? Sorry,
What?
I don't want to cut you off. I want to point out Ryze has stretched his gold lead to over 100.
And he just
Or
finished
CS
that
lead.
Frozen Heart. He has all of his core items, and it's
Oh,
they're
they're
actually
doing
gonna get
they're doing the Baron. It's at half health.
there's no TP from
Oh, the
Aurelia.
TP
This
from
is so
Ryze.
risky.
He's in a great position.
nice steal.
Hecarim's going to go in with the ultra. He
Oh.
does not manage to kill it. Ziggs gets the finishing. They're going. Ryze just solos the Corki with Blitzcrank around. This looks good. Shockwave from Orianna, but it's too little, too late. Irelia is the last one standing. This is going to be an
lose a lot
inhibitor,
of their base. This won't be game on this,
but
on
it'll
this
be an
push.
inhibitor for sure.
Yeah, it'll be an inhibitor, and if they can really, they probably can't get a second one. If they would have gone a little bit faster, maybe gone to bottom instead, they might have been able to get more than that. But it's still going to be a lot. And look at the gold lead now. After this tower, it's going to be close to 10K.
Yeah, like that Baron plus the double turret plus the kills has just been that's the snowball they needed. And with Sivir and Ryze, that can be really dominant. Oh, Thresh wants that hook.
They got to be careful not to overstay here. They don't want to give El Yolo a chance here before July New Hires has bought their items off all the gold they just earned, because they just got like 5K, 6K gold as a team. So they really want to spend before they do too much here.
I feel like the rotations have been better. That's really
they
what's
have
been
been.
getting them all this lead. Oh, the lead, the
Wow.
insect kick, great flash ultimate behind, and the Orianna is gonna go down. Sivir's gonna pick up Blitzcrank as well on the
And
backside.
it's important to note there, he did something that's incredibly hard to do on Lee Sin that actually Meteos was able to pull off last night.
Is it the
Won't spoil any
kick
more than
before?
that.
Is it
He
the
kicked
kick before the
he
flash, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Corki is so low. The Q from Ryze finishes him off. Hecarim is so low. And they're going to focus on Aurelia. There's the double kill for Ryze. He is now 12, 1, and 8. This Ryze has been a monster this game.
Still 20 seconds on Orianna and 30 and 40.
This might be game.
Yeah,
This
I
might
think
be
this
game
is-
right here. I don't see how Hecarim can defend this. He just does not have the tank or the health. And they're not going to care about his damage. Blitzcrank gets the pull onto Ryze, but it's too little, not enough. Ryze, even without mana, is still a threat. Down it goes. Nexus falls. 35
champion.
minutes.
Lose to the new kids on the block.
Yeah, that Lee kick. That Lee kick was impressive to look at because he was instant. absolutely instant. The kick before
You have
flash.
to be so confident on Lee Sin doing that. It is because I mean, if you screw that up, you literally just give them a free flash. So it is. You have to be so very confident and have practiced that so much to be able to pull that off, especially in a high pressure situation like a tournament.
Well, it does appear that my client is not showing up still. So we're going to just go to our break. All right, guys. I mean, we can recap here. We've got a lot to talk about on that game. That was impressive. Closest game we've had yet, for sure.
Yeah, it went to 35 minutes, and that might sound
Kind of short for a close game.
It doesn't sound incredibly short. It's not a sub 30 game, and it might sound a little bit short, but this game was a lot closer than the stats that came afterwards of here. Rise went 13-1, Ziggs was 5-2-13, Severe had 7 kills, had 5 deaths actually. Thresh had 22 assists on only 4 deaths, but that game could have gone either way. There was a couple breaking points in the mid game where it was really hard to tell who was going to win, and I ultimately think a lot of this comes down to Hecarim's.
I was about to say that. I think that Hecarim's choice of items really, like, it hurt them because they just didn't have a front line. Irelia didn't get the chance to get super tanky.
Yeah,
she fell behind.
Not only the items, but also there was decision-making issues, especially to Hecarim and then Blitzcrank also. We saw Blitzcrank had a a pull with no one around Dragon, and then 4 or 5 minutes later, him and Hecarim were sitting in a bush as the rest of his team was actually walking away, going to lane, and then they pulled again and just like instantly died, and gave away. They had a lead before those two. They had, I think it was like about a 700 gold lead, not much, but they did have a lead, and were poised to be able to really extend it and kind of win. And those two plays gave them almost a 3K deficit.
And that play at Baron, just before the Baron, when they pulled the Rise, they got Rise. But I don't think they knew the entire team was standing behind him. So when they pulled him, they're like, yeah, we got the Rise, 3-on-1. And there's 4 more members who are going to come back and fight him. Rise doesn't go down quickly. So they could. It's not like they could burst him
before he goes down.
Right, and they didn't have their whole team. Corki and Irelia are big parts of their damage, weren't there. So it's just an overall decision-making issues might have been a big factor in that. Hecarim not having the tank that he needed might have been a factor in that. Irelia fell behind over 100 CS, and you never want to see that.
Orianna missed a few ultimates, which was unfortunate too.
She played a very good game, though.
She did overall. Her and Corki by themselves stopped Baron and gave themselves a chance. But there was like maybe 2 or 3 missed ultimates in the mid game there that they were close team fights, and you had to think if she would have gotten a 2-man ultimate even, I'm not even saying a massive ultimate with 3 or more people. I'm saying like a 2-man ultimate.
Instead of the 1 or 0 she got in a couple.
Exactly. It might have changed things, even, and kind of nullified some of the bad decision making. Like, the game is not on her by any means. She's actually the most fed member of Yolo. She was 8-4-6, had 12.6k gold, which was only 1,000 behind her counterpart, which is much better than a lot of the cases here. Rise, for instance, 7k ahead of Irelia at the end of that game. That is ridiculous. So it wasn't on her. That game was not on her. But there were a couple things that she could have done to maybe give her team the win.
All right, guys. That's it for this game. Yolo versus July New Hires. July New Hires are going to be moving on. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and we'll be back soon. See you in a bit. Enjoy the music.